Hello? Hello? Hello, Miss Brenda. Can you hear me now? What's up? I want to do a little recap here of the California fires, the wildfires in California. 100,000 evacuated in the south as the power returns to the north. Firefighters right here 23 minutes ago. Firefighters battle blaze in Los Angeles County while the utility begins restoring power to some northern communities. Here's a summary. Here's a recap of what happened and where things stand. Southern California Edison turned off electricity to about 20,000 people in Los Angeles, Ventura, San Bernardino, and Kern counties, but warned that thousands more could lose service as Santa Ana winds gain strength. The Saddle Ridge fire, which started in Sylmar, had consumed more than 7,500 acres. By 5 p.m. local time Friday, today, 7,500 acres in Sylmar, prompting California's Governor Gavin Newsom to declare a state of emergency. Officials said a middle-aged man died where the fire was burning after he went into cardiac arrest, and that a firefighter suffered an eye injury. Okay. Authorities also ordered mandatory evacuations of about 100,000 people in the Granada Hills, Porter Ranch, and Oak Ridge Estates neighborhoods. A juvenile prison located directly next to the massive Saddle Ridge fire took more than 5 hours to evacuate in the middle of the night, sparking some criticisms and concerns from advocates. A blaze also ripped through a mobile home park, Calimesa, a city about 65 miles east of Los Angeles, destroying dozens of residences. An 89-year-old woman, Lois Averickson, died while on the phone with her son. Red flag fire warnings are expected to continue in Southern California through Saturday. In Northern California, PG&E started restoring power to some of the communities that were cut off on Wednesday and Thursday. PG&E suggested that it was already seeing the wisdom of its decision born out of gusts topping 77 miles per hour, raked the San Francisco Bay Area amid a bout of dry, windy weather. Northern California fire officials say a man dependent on oxygen died roughly 12 minutes after PG&E shut down power to the area. Poor man needed oxygen and they shut the power out. These stories here come out 1 hour ago, 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago, 5 hours ago. Juvenile prison took more than 5 hours to evacuate. Cap of the events. Hello, everyone. Brenda, open your eyes, peeps. Mark Robb, Killer Whale, thank you for coming in. A juvenile prison located directly to the massive Saddle Ridge fire took more than 5 hours to evacuate in the middle of the night, sparking criticism and concern. I won't read that long story, but this is a recap. Governor declares state of emergency in Southern California. Newsom today issued an emergency proclamation for Los Angeles and Riverside counties due to the effects of several fires, including Saddle Ridge, Eagle, Sandalwood, Richer, and Wolf fires, which have destroyed structures, threatened homes, and critical infrastructure, and caused the evacuation of tens of thousands of residents. Earlier today, Newsom announced that the state has secured a fire management assistance grant from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, which is FEMA, to help ensure the availability of resources to fight the Saddle Ridge fire. Saddle Ridge. The fire department says crews have fully surrounded it and authorities are continuing to do water drops. No injuries or damaged structures have been reported. It's a good reminder of how precarious the situation remains. These are different tweets here. In Southern California, some residents are now returning to their homes to assess the destruction and damage. Some dramatic scenes from journalists on the ground. Look at a car burn out. These people come home to nothing. Serena Makovikian says she just threw her 21st birthday party last week at her home, which was destroyed in the Saddle Ridge fire. She and her family came to the U.S. as refugees from Iran when she was around 2 years old. This was a dream house for them. Here's another tweet by Matt Pierce. Photos of a father and son trying to save their house from Saddle Ridge fire in Porter Ranch. Los Angeles Times. 4 out of 5 evacuation centers are now full. The only center with availability at the moment. The massive Saddle Ridge fire is threatening hundreds of homes in San Fernando Valley. Here are the details. You'd have to see the Los Angeles Times tweet. Power outages could cost region more than $2 billion. PG&E decision to shut the power on nearly 2 million customers across 36 California counties could cost the region more than $2 billion, according to some financial experts. But the precautionary outage created its own dilemmas. Closing schools, shutting down traffic lights, and leaving hospitals to rely on generators. Economic impact will probably be felt across business sectors, including restaurants, transportation, and grocery stores. Insurance for stores like supermarkets doesn't typically cover planned power outages, only outages caused by natural disasters like earthquakes. The stores will have to eat those costs. Did y'all know that? A planned power outage, the insurance does not cover. Portions of wine country north of San Francisco, torched by wildfires in 2017, stayed dark for most of the day Wednesday and Thursday. The county's Economic Development Board is preparing to study the local cost of the shutdown and will send out a survey to area businesses once power is restored. There's not a lot of precedence for how to calculate the impact, said Lauren Cartwright, a board spokesperson. A fire victim identified as Lois Averickson, 89, died in the Sandalwood fire in Riverside County. She was on the phone with her son when the flames reached the mobile home park where she lived. Here's a picture of the lady. Averickson was reportedly on the phone with her son when the flames arrived at the mobile park where she lived. That fire was started by burning trash and swept through a mobile park home, causing significant damage. Officials said earlier today that remains were found inside one of the mobile homes and that there were 2 people still missing who lived at the park, according to the Times. Fire authorities also said they were working with arson investigators and a homicide unit to determine if criminal charges were warranted in the death. The fire destroyed more than 70 homes and buildings. Another fire growing in Los Angeles. There are now reports of another brush fire in Southern California in El Sereno, about 25 miles southeast of the Sylmar fire. Looks like the fires are everywhere. This new fire has grown to about 20 acres. Responders are working to stop the fire from hitting threatened homes with water-dropping helicopters. This fire began around 11:30 a.m. local time. A man dependent on oxygen dies after PG&E shutdown. Northern California fire officials say a man dependent on oxygen died roughly 12 minutes after PG&E shut down power to the area. El Dorado's County Fire Chief Lloyd Ogan said fire personnel responded to a call in Pollock Pines that came in after 3:30 a.m. Wednesday. He said crews arrived to find an unresponsive man in his 60s and were unable to revive him. Ogan said the man's oxygen equipment required power, but could not say whether the shutdown was related to his death. I think it's pretty obvious. A PG&E spokesperson told the AP the utility has not been able to confirm the accuracy of the report. I've also asked for comment and will update if I hear back. Sylmar fire now at 7,500 acres. In Southern California, officials at a press briefing just said the Sylmar fire had spread to 7,500 acres and was only 13% contained. Roughly 25 homes have suffered severe impacts and damage. There are still 100,000 people under evacuation orders. In LA, department officials said that while it appeared there was a lull in activity, people should not be fooled. There's a lot of potential for growth in this fire. It's going to be a number of days. I don't want to get a strike or anything. Let me see what happens when I click on one of these. Let's cut the volume down if it'll play. I don't even know if it'll play. See if there's sound. That's pretty much an update. Juvenile prison took more than 5 hours to evacuate. Governor declares state of emergency in Southern California. El Sereno fire grows. Power outages could cost region more than $2 billion. Fire victim identified as Lois Erickson, 89. Another fire growing in Los Angeles. A man dependent on oxygen dies after PG&E shutdown. So that's what the Guardian is telling us. That's a recap of the fires in California. I appreciate everybody coming in. Super Dave loves and appreciate all of you. Thank you very much. Sterling Silver, JC, Open Your Eyes Peeps, Hodgepodge. Killer Whale. JC, I think you're kind of new in here. I appreciate you joining my channel. Valiant One. Sterling Silver. Brenda Barnett. Kicking with Ben. Bamboo, how are you? A Save Center. Carolina Hillbilly, hello, how are you, sir? MC Slots. Killer Whale. Road Warrior. Mark Robb. Each and every one of you. Y'all have a wonderful time. Have a great night. Stay out of California.